Oh, it's crossed out in black. So, hmm. Got to wait for another week for that. Actually, more like 2 weeks, but still. Hi everyone, welcome to today's episode of our Congress series. Today we're talking about the 107th Congress, which was in session from 2001 to 2003. This was the first Congress to be completely in the third millennium and the 21st century. So originally in my notes that it said that this Congress was a split. I looked at the party membership pretty closely and I came to the conclusion that it is not a split because the Senate was kind of well, let's just say that the majority of this Congress, the Senate, was mostly 50-50. And as you know, in order for me to say that it's the majority, it has to be one party has to control at least 50% of the seats. But since the majority of the Senate during this Congress was, half Democrat and half Republican, I went to the best thing I can say is the very end of the Congress, and it said that the Republicans controlled the majority, and the other majority is either Democrats or independents that clause with the Democrats or other independents that are with their own party and own agenda. So yeah, this is not a split Congress. So that'll happen in 2 weeks. Stay tuned. Happy Wednesday, everyone. I also forgot to mention in yesterday's video that yesterday was the birthday of the District of Columbia. Yeah, I've been there twice. But we'll talk about that on another day. Let's talk about this Congress. How many sessions were there? 2. How many? In the House, we have 435 members. The Speaker is Dennis Hastert, who is a Republican. We have 223 Republicans, 209 Democrats, 1 independent, and 2 vacancies. Over in the Senate, we have 100 members. The President of the Senate is, well, we actually have 2 because we got a new president in 2001. George W. Bush becomes president. And oddly enough, the man he was going up against was the actual current, then at the time, at least before January 20th, current vice president at the time, Al Gore, who was the president of the Senate until January 20th of 2001, who was a Democrat. And Bush's vice president is Dick Cheney, who is a Republican. You guys remember Dick Cheney, right? No? I didn't think so, because most of us, that are at least 20 right now, we barely remember him. President Pro Tempore is, well, in listing we have 3, but in people actually 2. First, it was Robert Byrd, which we talked about before, who is a Democrat. His last name spelled B-Y-R-D. And then it became Sherm Thurmond, who is a Republican. Remember, S-T-R-O-M, not S-T-O-R-M, who is a Republican. And it went back to Robert Byrd for the rest of this Congress, who is a Democrat. So yeah, it kind of went back and forth between the 2. The makeup of this Senate is the Republicans have exactly half of the Senate seats in this Congress, so exactly 50. While the other parties make up the other 50, but I go by the actual party itself, So the Republicans control the majority of this Congress, especially here in the Senate. So yeah, we have 50 Republicans, 48 Democrats, 1 independent that actually clauses with the Democrats but is still independent, and 1 member from the Independence Party of Minnesota. Yeah, somehow that constitutes that's a party. Alright, even though I kind of spoiled it for you guys yesterday, the major event that happens in America at this time, September 11th, 2001. How old were you guys on that fateful day? Put it down in the comment section below. So, the Twin Towers, also known as the World Trade Center, and the Pentagon were attacked by a terrorist group in the Middle East known as Al-Qaeda, or Al-Qaeda. It was a series of 4 different attacks with 4 hijacked planes. The targets were both towers, the Pentagon, and either the White House or the Capitol building. No one's not sure on that last one. But the first 3 hit their targets. First one flew into the, I think it was the North Tower. And then the second one, minutes later, hit the South Tower. And then the tower started to fall. And then a plane hit one of the sides of the Pentagon. And the fourth failed and landed in a field in Pennsylvania. Probably going for either the Capitol building or the White House. No one's completely sure on that last one, so we weren't sure. That fateful day is now known as 9/11, as I already said before. In response, President George W. Bush declared a war on terror, which we're still dealing with right now, and signed the Homeland Security Act, which created the America we have today and the Department of Homeland Security. Some say that, doing all these 9/11 response acts and bills and all this legislation, that a lot of people think it was a violation of the First Amendment. But, that's kind of a debatable topic nowadays. So thank you all so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you tomorrow. But seriously, how old were you guys on 9/11, 2001? Me? I was roughly, I don't know, about probably about 2 and 3 months, I think. But yeah, we'll see you tomorrow.